Hi everyone, I'm Ivan. I'm the author of the Irritator submission for the Gen 1 creature vote, and I'm here to explain its kit to you in case you don't feel like reading the whole post. It's easy to get the general idea of Irritator if you casually scroll through the submission and read some stuff here and there, but I believe that in Irritator's case in particular, the more you understand it, the better it gets, and it's not just a whole bunch of abilities thrown together into a dinosaur package. I really tried my best to make it so that it doesn't feel like your regular Swiss Army knife creature that does everything, while also giving you the opportunity to rediscover the Genesis Part 1 map in a whole new way. If you're really in a hurry, you could skip to the summary at the end of the video or skip to some timestamps depending on what you want to see, but if you're not really familiar with the submission of Irritator, I'd encourage you to watch the whole thing. In the wild, you can find Irritator in a lot of places, ranging from the bog, the underwater cubes in the ocean, the oil lakes of the volcano, all the way to the lunar caves of the lunar biome. Irritator is actually the smallest member of the Spinosaurid family, kind of like Baryonyx's smaller cousin. You'll probably spot Irritator before it spots you though, despite its size, and that's intentional. Like many animals with fleshy colors in real life, that usually means don't mess with me, I'm dangerous. In this case, Irritator has had to evolve a way to survive despite the presence of much larger threats within the simulation. And that's its main gimmick, the irritating mucus. This mucus is a substance that covers its entire body, causing skin irritation and the weakening of the immune system to anyone hit. This pretty much discourages almost every creature from attacking it, leaving Irritator to its fishing. Preferring to be left alone, it won't attack the player unless you get too close, just like a dire bear, but with a slightly bigger aggro radius. If you do get hit by Irritator, you will get afflicted with the Irritated status effect, making you weaker to other status effects and torpor. This makes it so that you really have to watch out for your surroundings because Gen 1 is filled to the brim with many sources of status effects. In the bog, you have the spore clouds to the north, just so many critters that can poison you, titanoboas that can put you to sleep, and more recently, deinosuchus that can bleed you to death. In the ocean, you've got the good old jellyfishes and eels. In the volcano, you can get suffocated by the gas clouds, but also there's always a good chance of getting burned. And finally, we've got the scorching sun in the lunar biome. Now, all of this sounds kinda irritating, and it wouldn't be very fun to deal with this all the time. That's why Irritator has flashy colors. It wants to be seen and avoided, and to get attacked, you have to get close. This gives the players a margin of error while still encouraging them to watch out for their surroundings, because in the case you do get hit, every other danger in the map becomes even more lethal. Irritator might not be the one that kills you, but it's part of a larger ecosystem that might do. Remember, you are part of the ecosystem too, so watch out the next time you go on a meat run. Although this mucus is very good at preventing predators from attacking Irritator, it does come with one fatal flaw. It's kind of stinky. That's why rare flowers have the opposite effect on Irritator. It enjoys the smell of flowers and becomes passive. While pacified, you get to drag a fish corpse to it and feed it. Now, we all know what eating rare flowers do, so cleaning the area or aggroing Irritator away from other creatures will be the way to go. Once tamed, you've got yourself a very useful creature, but before we dive deeper into its utility, here's the list of its abilities. You've got two passive abilities, Hydration Bonus and Irritating Mucus, a custom craftable item, Anti-irritant, a 360 rotation saddle, a regular bite, a tail slap, a gulp, more on that later, and a jump. Let's start with the early game. Don't worry, it's still useful in the late game too. So, taming Irritator is a bit tricky, but it shouldn't be too hard if you're lucky. It's designed to be a creature you can get pretty early on into the game anyways. At first, you'll be using it as a speedy traveling mount that can go on both land and in water. However, it still retains its dissuasive factor even after being tamed, making it so that most creatures won't attack you unless you get too close to them. This is very valuable on a map where the two starting biomes are the swamp and the ocean. Irritator also benefits from the same hydration bonus as Spinosaurus does, giving it a speed boost, damage boost, and regeneration. If somehow you get stuck between many enemies and can't get away, you can just perform a tail slap to push them far away for you to escape. Now, we all know how annoying it is when your dino is almost dead and you have to force feed them meat for ages before you can go back to actually playing the game. This is partially fixed by its hydration bonus, but also its gulp ability. In real life, it's speculated that Irritator could open its jaw extremely wide, which could have been used to swallow fish whole, just like pelicans do. Well, Irritator can do just that, except it gives you a regeneration bonus for a few seconds. All of this gives you the ability to regenerate health fast and go right back to exploring. You could also store fish indefinitely in a fish basket in its inventory, allowing you to preserve them, which will be a game changer for shadowing Taming, or eat them later if you're low on health in a place without fish. This makes it so that you still feel a difference in difficulty between starter biomes and harder biomes like the volcano, where your regeneration will be limited. We all know you're benching all your traveling mounts once you get a Bloodstalker in Gen 1. What makes Irritator still relevant later on in the game's progression is its main gimmick, the aforementioned irritating mucus. Attacking a creature will afflict them with the irritated status effect, which makes them weak to status effects, but most importantly to torpor. You can imagine how useful this will be when it comes to taming, sending you a whole bunch of narcotics, or allowing you to tame more creatures with the same amount of tranks. Considering knockout tames are such a big part of the game, it's safe to assume that this will be very useful on all maps. However, it's even more important on Gen 1. The reason is that, for those that are unfamiliar with the map, Gen 1 introduces X variants of dinos that, in the wild, take 250% less damage. That's a lot, and a lot is what you used to need in terms of tranks if you wanted to get yourself a brand new shiny Rex. Well, with Irritator this won't be an issue anymore, as knocking them out will be a lot easier. On the other hand, when you're trying to tame a creature that's already low on health and the irritated effect wears off, you can just slap it to reapply the effect without risking to kill the creature. Another feature of the irritated status effect is how it actually makes targets weak to torpor. It's not a buff to the torpor over time status effect you get from your tranks. It's a universal multiplier on the torpor stat itself. It's completely independent from other status effects. The reason why this is so important is that not every knockout tame can be done with regular tranks. For example, let's say you want to get yourself a high-level Carcinos. Usually you'd need to craft a cannon for that because a regular catapult would just kill it. Irritator gives you a chance to save up on resources and allows you to weaken the Carcinos just enough so that you can do the tame with a regular catapult. Overall, Irritator's enhancing of the torpor stat makes it useful in more than just regular strength knockout tames. The last feature of Irritator's mucus is that with it you can craft the brand new item, Anti-irritant. With a bunch of resources and the mucus, which Irritator slowly produces in its inventory, you get a way to increase the resistance to status effects of your creatures when applied to them for a short duration, which could come in handy against the Moder. The last feature of Irritator I'd like to talk about is its unique saddle. By now, you've probably guessed that if you want to benefit the most from its irritated effect, it's better to do it from Irritator's back. That's what the saddle's for. It's designed to be as comfortable as possible for people that want to shoot from Irritator's back. It allows you to look around freely in 360 degrees, even when holding a weapon, making it so that you can run in one direction and shoot in the other. And since we're talking about shooting, another reason why this works best on Gen 1 is that you don't rely on drop RNG to get higher quality weapons like on other maps. Missions have fixed drop tables. Even though the quality can vary, it's much easier to focus missions that drop the weapons you want. So, having weapons of good quality to use from Irritator's back shouldn't take too long to get. So, in short, Irritator can be found in the bog, ocean, volcano, and even the lunar biome. In the wild, you better watch out, because if it bites you, everything else around becomes even more dangerous. Once tamed, it becomes an excellent early game traveling mount, making any creature hit weak to torpor and status effects, making it an ideal taming companion. Its saddle is designed to make shooting from its back as easy and comfortable as possible, allowing you to run in one direction while shooting in the other. It's actually my first time submitting, so if you liked my idea, feel free to vote for Irritator with the link in the description and share this video. Thanks for watching and good luck to everyone with the vote.